Warning, this is not the full version of this episode. This is a teaser. Enjoy.
So, you know, in political organizing, meetings get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Some of it's fair, some of it's not. Like, what's your experience in like activism? What's the most successful meeting you've ever been to? What were the features of a successful meeting?
Features of a successful meeting. There was specific topics that needed to be covered, specific decisions that needed to be made. Somebody was making sure that we got to those topics quickly, one after another, like, you know, spend the time we need to spend to talk about it, but, you know, make a decision, assign tasks for how those things should be carried out.
Like people taking responsibility for elements of the decision that were made. So-and-so is going to take over this part. So-and-so is going to take over this part. We really need someone to X. Anyone here? You? Oh, Jeffrey. Perfect. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's what a successful meeting has in it.
Yes.
Did anyone in the circle like take up way too much space and talking about an irrelevant topic? Just like going wildly off, just start talking about some other random thing. And then no one in the group had the confidence or wherewithal to stand up and say, hey, actually, we don't want to talk about this, or you're actually
not
out
in
of
the
order.
Successful meetings, but I have experienced that in meetings, and more than just being afraid to speak up about it, more often someone else would have an opinion on one of the things that person who's off topic said.
So the stack starts.
Yeah, then they got to say their opinion,
monologue
and then
stack.
All of a sudden, our organizing meeting is spent 30 minutes arguing about chemtrails, and you're like, wait, why?
Wait a minute. We were actually making a decision on the purchasing of balloons for the event on
Right.
November 6th, but now we're arguing about the fundamental purpose of our organization again. And it seems to be a certain person who always starts this conversation. I feel like saying
specific person.
And I'm not talking about any specific person. I've just experienced it a ton of times.
Specific people come to mind for me as being really bad.
Yeah, like throughout the years, there are some motherfuckers. And these like, oh man, these bureaucrats. Whew. Okay, rules are good. I'm in favor of rules in general. I think rules can really make things go smoothly. But there are some people who have such an erotic fixation on the rules that they will throw away the entirety of the purpose of the organization just to make sweet, sensual love to the rules in front of everyone, no matter how disgusted everyone else is with this gratuitous display of eroticism towards the rules in themselves, no matter what we have to sacrifice for it. You know, that's the way romantic love is sometimes. You know, you throw away everything else. You don't even think about it.
Just in love with those rules.
You're just in love with those rules. And you're like, fuck it all, man. I'm going to drop. Screw what we're all here to do. Screw the fact that other people have limited time in their schedule and they're making time to do this, and I want to respect and honor that work. Fuck that noise. I'm in love. I'm in love with rules, and I need to show it. I need to show it in front of everyone right now.
Yeah. When I think about meetings, I think about like dread of nothing happening and just sitting through conversation that I wouldn't sit through in any other situation, because ostensibly there's a goal in mind, but the goal never materializes. And I don't know how you get around that. I mean, the only meetings I was a part of that weren't like that were like that because two people just took control and were the bosses of the meeting, and they were effective at it. But all those people who like to talk, who got kicked out, weren't happy about it. So it wasn't very open or democratic. It was
There's an authoritarian mode of compliance in the organization that you're in that was able to break this problem.
Yes.
It was by just brutally expelling people who disagreed with their leader.
Yes.
So that's a problem too. And I think over the course of this episode of Seriously Wrong, we might be able to get to the bottom of this. This is a pretty intractable problem. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
I've got some ideas. I think we can work through this.
Oh, good, because I have no ideas. So
you have none at all?
Zero.
Okay, perfect. Because I actually have way too much.
Okay, good. So that's the right balance.
So everyone, we need you now, if you're willing, to sit back, relax, and get ready for a new episode of Seriously Wrong, hosted by Sean and Aaron, as usual.
That's Sean. I'm Aaron.
Yeah, Sean here. This is Sean's voice. That's Aaron's voice. Welcome to the show. Today's episode of Seriously Wrong is proudly brought to you by the person who only shows up for planning meetings but never is involved in any of the actual day-to-day work.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all again. I've been just swamped lately. That's why I haven't been out door knocking or helping to gather signatures. I also haven't been able to take a look at any of the web design stuff. That's my area of expertise, but I do so much of that at my job. So busy. But what I did last night was prepare a 36 bullet-pointed list about all the things that everybody else has been doing wrong. Because I have such a discerning eye, I'm able to catch a lot of things that are suboptimal, unnecessary wastes of time, very good eye for stuff like that. So as I get into my 42-point bullet list of all your errors, I just want to say that I hope you can all take this feedback with appreciation. And
if I don't cut him off, he's never going to stop talking. But yeah, the show is sponsored by him, proud sponsor of Seriously Wrong, guy who only shows up to the meetings. And he's been really busy, clearly, but he's got a lot of feedback on the blood, sweat, and tears that you've poured into the thing that he hopes to control from atop. The show is sponsored by him. Next time, on the full version of this episode, we get more into the subject matter.
There's a lot of really interesting, dense, useful information in there.
It's a pretty good episode. I'm pretty happy with this one.
Yeah,
I feel like
I almost feel bad that we have to put it behind the paywall.
But yeah, we have to achieve a certain balance because a lot of people do donate to us, and we want to honor that they've donated to us by making sure that there is at least some content that's coming out consistently that's for them.
Exclusively for them, yeah.
But so then it puts us in this awkward position, but then it's like what breaks at the end is like this show is surviving and exists based on the financing that we receive, and we want to encourage people to donate, and it makes us a little uncomfortable, but it's like just structurally how it sort of works, and really honoring the people who do chip in by making sure that there's some content for them that they're...
And some of like fire content, like this episode, it's some pretty fire content. And
you don't want to just be like, you finish recording an episode and you're like, oh, I don't like that one. Well, give it to the people who financially support us.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, I want to give them some of the good shit, and that's what this one is. And, I'm sorry you can't listen to it if you haven't donated yet, but hey, you can donate and listen to it, and we would really appreciate that. It would help us make the show better, and it would help us be financially stable human beings in the society that we live in.
Yeah, the shape of society is really to blame here. So
don't blame us. Blame the shape of society.
Yeah, please direct all complaints to the shape of society. Thank you.
Oh man, your politics are bad news. Get them fixed.
Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Seriously wrong.
Seriously wrong.